All right. Our monthly self-image scripting workshop. Super excited about this one because I get to share with you more details about what's happening with Magnet 30. Oh, I'm so excited. So, without further ado, let me share my screen and then we can get moving. All right. If you have any, I'll be asking multiple times if you have any questions, but if you do and I don't ask, just chime in and say, hey, Mary, I have a question. All right. So we are here to write our self-image script in 5 steps because transforming our self-image helps us to transform our lives. I have been doing this now ever since I finally heard Bob say, Mary, do it. And once I sat down and decided that I was going to create this script and begin spending time with it and envisioning it, stuff started happening. And it was so magical that I just had to share it with everybody because it's so, so important and it's just remarkably effective. So, why your self-image matters in the first place. Maxwell Maltz tells us in Psychocybernetics that self-image sets the boundaries for individual accomplishment because the world reflects back to us who we believe we are at our deepest level. Not who we say we are, not what we just project to people and pretend we are, but who we truly believe we are at a gut level. And that, of course, is within each one of us. Nobody has the power to give you a new self-image but you. Although so many times we allow others to alter our self-image, we really do have the power. So what I want to start with is a little exercise that I've been starting these workshops with the last few times. And I want you to just close your eyes and put your hands over your heart. And to yourself, just repeat wonderful, wonderful, wonderful me. And we're just going to do that for 1 minute. And I just want you to notice any shift that you might feel as you do it. All right. So close your eyes. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. All right. Now, may or may not believe that you're wonderful, but when we can focus our attention for how wonderful we are, or even if we wish that we believe that about ourselves, and focusing our attention on the fact that we are wonderful, and it creates a shift. Did anybody notice a shift, a feeling in their vibration? That yeah, good, Angie, I love it because it's this little exercise that was just 1 minute. And so what I encourage you to do is if you feel ever overwhelmed throughout your day, if you feel like you're, well, ragging on yourself throughout the day or berating yourself, just take 1 minute and close your eyes. And you don't even have to, you could go in a closet, you could go in the bathroom, you could do whatever, or you could even do it without closing your eyes and without putting your hands over your heart, you could just start saying it in your mind. But just focus on it and help yourself shift your vibration in that moment, because it is the now that matters. So we have a number of steps, 5 steps to define what our self-image is. And in order to define our self-image, we have to define our goals and our desires. So we need to identify what we truly want. Clarity is power. It is the only thing that will get us to the next level. If our desires are nebulous, if they're hit and miss, if we want one thing one day and another thing another day, then all of our results will be the same way. Our outside is a reflection of what's going on the inside. So if we are clear on exactly what we want, then our message to the universe is really clear. It says, yes, this is what I want. This is what I want. So I want you just to ask yourself, what is it that I want? You know, and in the book, Discovering Something Greater, that I co-wrote with other ladies, my friend Kristen was talking about the fact that she thought she had everything she wanted until I asked her, what do you really want? And she said, well, I just want my family to be happy. She had spent so much time wanting a family, wanting a husband and children, that she stopped wanting beyond that. And it's not a bad thing to want good things for your family. It's not at all. However, when we stop asking ourselves this question, what do I really want out of this magnificent life that we're living? We stop growing. And Bob always says, create or disintegrate. So if we're not creating, we're dying, right? So we're disintegrating, which is just a slow death, essentially. So create or disintegrate. So ask yourself, take the time, and you're going to need to take some time beyond what we have here, but you can get started and then add to it. But reflect on specific areas of your life, health, wealth, relationships, happiness, overall happiness, right? So in the realm of health, what is it that you want? And if it's hard to think about what you do want, then start off with what you don't want. Maybe you have some pains here and there. Maybe you have a doctor's appointment later this week. Whatever it is, identify what you don't want, and then that might help you define what it is that you do want. What does overall health look like? And don't limit yourself because you're a certain age, or don't limit yourself because you have a certain ache or pain right now, or a certain diagnosis. You can do anything. So allow yourself to think beyond limitations. Allow yourself to image that perfect version of you that's within. What does that health look like? And the same thing with wealth. Don't allow current present circumstances or past things that have happened. Don't allow that to color what you truly want. Really go into what it is that you would love. What would I love? That is one of the best questions you can ask yourself in this step. What would I love in the realm of health and wealth and relationships? Relationships could be any relationship. It could be a significant other. It could be pets. It could be kids. It could be friendships. It could be just people walking down the street. It could be people that you meet in your job every day. What do you want in the realm of relationships? And then, of course, overall happiness. All of these kind of tie into overall happiness, but happiness really just expands everywhere. So I want to add that. as well. And then when you get this list, you want to write it down. You want to write all of these things down and list them in order of priority. What do you really want? Maybe for a while you feel like you need to focus on your health, or maybe you really feel like you need to focus on building a business or your relationships. Whatever it is that's really bugging you the most is really where you should start. And just begin imagining something greater. So I'm going to stop sharing for a minute. Oh, there we go. And answer any questions so far. Does anybody have any questions about this particular step? No. I know it's kind of cut and dry. What do I want? Make a list. Okay. But don't limit yourself. If there were no limitations whatsoever on you, which there aren't, what would you want your life to look like? What would you want to have going on every single day? What would you want your relationships to be like? You could even write out your ideal day. I want this. This is what I want every day. I did that. You know that. I have horses in there, and they're just oozing out of there. There's so many horses, and it's so much fun, and I love it. I love it. I love it. So if it's hard at the moment to think about and go there, what do I want? Then you might want to think about, like I said before, the opposite of what you currently have. You know, Bob did a really great exercise inside of thinking into results. He said, and this kind of floored me when I first heard it. He said, if you list out what you currently have, and then you want something different, that means what you currently have, you don't want. And I went, whoa, that is interesting. And it was kind of cut and dry at that point. Like, oh, okay. So now I get to refine what I really, really want, right? And in the realm of relationships, for instance, I have a 14-year-old daughter, and so many times I used to say, she's 14, right? However, I have changed how I see that child. I have seen her just kind and sweet and generous and loving towards her parents. And guess what? She's all those things. So don't just increment your want to just a little bit better than what it is. Allow it to be the biggest and the best that you want it to be. Does that make sense? All right. The ideal, right? Okay. Next step. So that's step one. I'm just going to keep it like this. So step two, we get to craft a scene. What we do in this is we bring our desires to the forefront in our mind, and we spend some time imagining what it's like with our ideal life. What is it like to live this beautiful life? Now, imagination is one of our intellectual faculties, and visualization is part of that imagination. So what we really want to do is get lost in that imagination, in that image of what it is that we truly desire, and visualize it. And this scene is something that you can be a part of. It's something that you can act within, but it's something that represents to you that it's all done. It might not be encompassing from somebody on the outside that all your goals are met, but it represents to you that all your goals are met. So you want to picture your life where your goals have been fully realized. Make it specific and meaningful to you. That captures the essence of your desires. So mine is, you all know this, standing on the back patio with my hot cup of coffee in my hands, looking out at the green pastures with all the beautiful 4 horses and my gardens and my fruit trees. It doesn't include all of my goals, but it makes me feel like all of my goals are achieved. And let me just say, and I was talking to somebody earlier about this too, it involves money goals, but the money isn't what evokes the feeling for me. Maybe for some people it does, and that's fine. But for me, it's what the money represents, what I can do with it. And it really involves horses. You know how many more horses I can buy with all this money, right? So really get to that point where you feel charged by your goal, by your desire. And when you create this scene, so like I said, I'm on my back patio looking out at all my horses, use your senses and ask yourself, what do I hear? I hear a cardinal. Tweet, tweet. He's always there. And you know how many cardinals I see every day? Dozens. It's really remarkable. And you know what? They're not just at the barn. They follow me to my house. It's pretty cool. So I see them everywhere. And they're not even supposed to be here in the summer, I don't think. It's ridiculous. It's so cool. And that's what I'm saying. They're following me. I'm telling you, I'm attracting them. So what do you hear? And what do you see? I see horses. I see green grass. I see fruit trees lining the driveway. What do you feel? Well, my hot cup of coffee. I feel the wind in my hair or wherever. I feel it on my skin. What do I smell? Well, I smell hay. And what do you taste? Well, I taste my hot cup of coffee. So get really detailed and bring yourself into the scene. And you could even ask yourself, what am I doing in this scene? I'm standing on my back patio. Somebody else might be sitting on theirs. And that's important that you are part of the action. And then what you get to do is write it out. Don't forget to write it out. And I really want to stress this point. Napoleon Hill in Think and Grow Rich tells us that the first step in transmuting desire into its physical counterpart is to write it down. It's the first step in bringing it into the world. So it comes from your mind, and that's just a thought. But once we take the time and write it out, we have brought it from here to the physical world. That's the first step in seeing it happen in this life. So, does anybody have any questions about that particular step? Have you gotten to this step? Have you created this scene for yourself? How do you feel about it? Do you love it? Are you in love with your scene? You should be. Yeah, you should be. Bob says love is just harmony, right? Are you in harmony with your scene? Go ahead, Ryan.
Harmony. I love that. Exactly. One thing that you brought up that resonates with me, and it's making it easier for me to really get in love with my goals and my future self, the self image that I am being now, that I'm living into, is what you said about the money piece. The money piece has always been that rub for me, and I'm like, I want the money. But like you, it's not the real main motivator, except that the motivation is it provides me with everything I want, which is freedom, which encompasses all the things, the health, the wealth, the happiness, the relationships, and all that stuff. So it does it does mean something different to everyone. And I know that a lot of a lot of people are money motivated, and there's a lot of people that really just want to be authentic. That may be one goal that is like, this is my thing. I want to be authentic. The money thing is like not a big deal, but still it is in a sense because that's the what they say. Was it said money doesn't make the world go around or money does make the world go around? It's one of the two or both and. But it's more about the energy behind it. And I think whatever way you can couch it, whatever way I've couched it, and it feels good for me, to want to live in good health for as many years as I can and have the lifestyle and the family, if, and the good relationships and the traveling and all of that, and being out on a balcony and smelling the ocean breeze with my cup of coffee. That means a lot to me because it shows me that I have achieved my goal. It's another sign. All of those things. This is a very, very important step. Step two, I think, is very important because that's what causes me to get emotionally involved.
Yeah, it should. Otherwise, your goal isn't what it's supposed to be. So if you don't feel an emotional connection and if you don't love your scene, then go back to the drawing board. And that's okay. Just go back to the beginning and really examine what is it that I do want? Because for a long time, a lot of us were told what we should want, right? So if you're one of those people, which most people are at some point in their lives, the people who were told that this is what you should want, Mary, right? I've been told that. I had to go back to the drawing board and ask myself, no, what is it that I want? What is it that I want? And I want to talk about, I love horses. You know that. But the reason why they're so important and they're such a good example is because I have loved them since I was a kid. And the love for them never stopped. Even though I went different ways, I always came back to that. And I want you to notice if there's a thread like that in your life, because that is a key to your, Ryan mentioned, authenticity. That's a key to who you really are. That's a key to your desires that really light you up. So maybe it's artwork, maybe it's reading books, maybe it's traveling, maybe it's writing, whatever it could be. Maybe it's flowers. I love flowers. But it's a key. So don't dismiss those desires that keep popping up throughout your life. Notice them. What are they? Ask yourself, why do I want that? My sister, I keep telling her, you should get a horse. You should get a horse. And she's like, no, I don't need a horse. Guess what? She might be getting a mini horse. Oh, so she's like, see, Mary, I can get a horse now. So she started my love for horses, right? Because she had one when I was a little kid and I wanted to be just like her. So, but notice those threads that have been coming and going in your life and go, maybe that is a key to where I'm supposed to head, where I'm supposed to go. Don't ignore those. Okay. All right. So craft your scene, make it beautiful and love it. Love it, love it, love it. I'm going to share again. Step 3, one of my favorite steps, create your affirmations. So what we're going to do here is, since we have visualized our ideal life, now we need to go deeper into this. We need to spend time inside this vision and really find out who we really are at this incredible, perfect level, this ideal level. Who is this version of you that has it all? So we really want to observe who we are in the image, in this vision of ourselves. So I want you to really bring a specific scene to mind. If it's not the end all be all scene yet, that's okay, but bring a scene to mind that represents that at least one of your goals is achieved. And what you're really going to do is get into the scene and immerse yourself in it and fully experience being there. What does it feel like? Absorb every detail. So get those senses moving and going, and notice what you smell, hear, taste, touch, see. And then when you're there, I want you to step outside of your body and view yourself. So let's close our eyes for just a minute. And I want you to imagine your scene. So we're going to just do that for literally 1 minute. And then we're going to do the next step. So close your eyes and bring your image to mind. And now that you're there, step outside and see that version of you standing there, sitting there, laying there, whatever it is you're doing. And notice some character traits about that version of you. Who do you see? How do you carry yourself in that moment? What's your posture like? What are you wearing? How do you interact with others? What is your facial expression? What character traits stand out? When you're ready, open your eyes and just start writing. Write all the things that popped into your mind. Try and make it to 9. I think 9 is a great number for it. When I first did this, I cried. I was just like, oh my gosh, look at me. So what we're going to do after you make that list, you're just going to simply turn them into affirmations. So for me, I am calm. That was the first one that just jumped out at me. I'm confident. I am wise. So this exercise really helps you recognize and embody the qualities of your ideal self. And while you're focusing on these traits every single day, you naturally begin to align your thoughts and your feelings and your actions and your overall energy with that version of you. So this version of you already achieved their goal. You already achieved it. And this is how, these affirmations. Now, I want to talk a little bit about affirmations And we do have an affirmation expert here, and Angie, she wrote a book on affirmations. But what I do want to say is that some people think that affirmations are fake it till you make it. And I want you to think of it in a different way. I want you to think of these as bringing that trait to me, right? I am becoming more of this. So calm. If I focus on being calm, the more I focus on being calm in my mind, the more calm will show up around me. And the more calm I will be in any situation. So imagine your affirmations as you repeat them and as you see yourself. Hi, Kathy. As you see yourself, begin to just see these affirmations and these traits coming to you, and you're calling them to you a little bit more than where you are now. Instead of the idea of faking it till you make it, think about imagining what it's like to be this. And the more you imagine what it's like to be a certain thing at a certain time, now, which is the only time, as you begin to think, I am calm now. How can I be calm now? Or confident. How can I be confident now? In this situation, what does confidence look like to me now? How can I embody confidence now? So it's affirmations are not things that you are looking to achieve in the future. You are looking to be them now. And the more we repeat them to ourselves, and the more that we see ourselves in the mirror as this trait, we begin to really see what it looks like to be calm. So if I am repeating an affirmation in the mirror, I am calm. I'm not going to be jumping up and down in the mirror. I'm going to have a calm demeanor. If I am confident, I can look at myself in the mirror and hold myself in a different posture. I can be more confident. How can I be more confident now? How can I be wise now? So when we do this, affirmations are so powerful if we use them the right ways. Too many people use them in the way that, if I just repeat this enough times, I'll just do it. But we have to, as we said before, feel the feeling, see what it looks like, and imagine being that now, and try and mimic that in our current reality as much as possible. Does that make sense? Yeah. I didn't know that about affirmations when I first started. I just started saying stuff. I am this, I am this, I am this. But it didn't work. And it didn't work because I was doing it wrong. So I want to help you do it right. So start thinking about the now and how you can be that affirmation now. So a lot of people talk about money and abundance. And then I'm just lying to myself if I'm saying I'm abundant and my checking account's here. No. Abundance is a feeling. Abundance is a character trait that you have. You feel abundant. And in order to get abundance and bring abundance to us, we have to feel it. We have to give off abundance. So another way of looking at your affirmations is, how can I send the signal of abundance out to the world? How can I exude abundance? How can I be a beacon of abundance? Right? And it doesn't always include money. See these flowers behind me? Abundant. They are 2 weeks old. These are the same ones. I got them at Trader Joe's, Angie. I don't even know what they're called, and I love them. They're lasting forever. Do you know what they
They're
are?
Astromarius.
That's what they are. Yes, thank you. They are. I knew they had some star in it, but they are living forever. Well, they're not. Well, I guess they are living because they're still budding and they're still blooming, but they're incredible.
They always last a long time.
Yeah. Huh. Isn't that great? And so abundance. They were only $5, $6, $5.99, right? Abundance. You don't have to have a lot of money to feel abundant. So ask yourself if money is a part of the thing. To attract money to you, you have to feel abundant. And so ask yourself about your affirmation on abundance. How can I feel more abundant now? Right? And maybe it's a smile. Smiles are free, right? So how can you feel more abundant now? How can you give more of something now? Okay. Any questions on affirmations?
No, it was perfectly well said and well put, because it's not just random words. And the reason why you have us craft our scene before we do these affirmations is that we have to get into the feeling of who we're living into, our scene that we imagine ourselves being in, visualizing us actually there. What are we feeling? What are we seeing? What are we hearing? What are we smelling? What are we touching? What does that, how does that make us feel? And how much more it is authentic. There goes that word again. When we are attaching our own feelings to something to affirm, that solidifies that image that we planted in our mind, that we created of our ideal life, that we can carry with us. And you're right, Mary. When I first started doing affirmations, I was just doing them just to do them. I hadn't, and they weren't doing anything for me because I
Anybody
just,
else do that? I did that.
I was trying to go, I am abundant, I am abundant, I'm abundant, I'm abundant.
Where's the abundance? Where's the abundance? Where's the
And
abundance?
so, yeah, it's I love going through this over and over again, because every time I come up with something new, and it happens to be where it can get how I can get myself into that future self in my mind, that creates new feelings, new words that I can create into an affirmation. I can easily get 9, and some of them are the same of words from previous exercises, but I came up with some new ones today, and I'm so delighted, and they feel good to me.
I am delighted. Well, and it's hi Eddie, I see your face now. And it's so good to understand what the words I am mean, especially when connected to a feeling. I am are the creative words of the universe. I am. And then you get to insert what it is that you are. You get to choose what you are in this moment. I am whatever it is that you want to be. So choose.
That's the operative word, what you want to be. Get into that feeling of who you want to be, because it doesn't work if we're having a bad day and we just think about that. But if you can imagine yourself, and if you can image that, if you can visualize that, then reach into that, and use your imagination. Be a little kid. Be a little kid, like, thinking about, what is, I can just imagine what I'm gonna get for Christmas. Oh, I can't wait, kind of thing. Get that way. Just
Mhm.
just shut out the rest of the world. And just get that way. Get like childlike, and then start creating these words and these feelings that you can affirm, because you got something to attach it to. Any rate, I'm on fire, because I'm just like all over this stuff right now.
Well, it's hard not to be. I love it. All right. So we're going to move to step 4 after all these awesome affirmations, your affirmations, right? Now we get to describe our ideal self. So you have all these affirmations, but they're just one sentence right now. I am wise. I am calm. Now we get to describe each one, make it into a story and expand it. So we want to take them and transform them into a vivid, powerful description of you, of your ideal version. So what happens is, yes, we were feeling our affirmations before, but now we are living them. We're bringing them to life and fully integrating the traits into our daily thoughts, actions, and energy. So what's happening is when we craft our affirmations before, and then we think, okay, how can I be wise now? How can I be happy now? How can I be abundant now? Now we get to see and paint the picture of what it's like to always be these things. What does your life look like now that you're always this? You're always calm. You're always happy. You're always abundant. So craft that. Describe how it shows up every single day in your life. And then we begin to really embody these as part of our beliefs that we hold of ourselves, part of the decisions that we make on a minute by minute basis, starting with who I am right now, like Ryan was saying, who am I being now? And then embody them in your actions. So if I were confident, how would I act right now? How would I act as a confident person? So paint a detailed picture of every single one of your affirmations, how they manifest in your daily life. Here's a really great way of doing this. Take that affirmation, hold it in your mind, and then answer these questions. If I am this, how do I think? How do I feel? And how do I act? Thinking, feeling, and acting, that all together is a composite that makes up your overall attitude. Thoughts, feelings, and actions. So what you're doing here is actually creating your ideal attitude. How am I? Who am I? What am I in this situation? So I'll share an example. Attack the day like a 4-year-old wearing a Batman shirt. That's right, Eddie. Or a 44-year-old wearing a Batman shirt, right? There you go. Eddie wears Batman when he's running. Okay, so you can expand your affirmations. I am calm. So why am I so calm? Somebody asked me one time, I was a lobbyist at the time, and there's something big going on, and I had to deliver a letter to the governor's office and blah, blah, blah. But I was calm. And my counterpart goes, "Oh my gosh, Mary, there is a lot riding on this. Why are you so calm?" And I'm like, "Well, maybe because I used to do Beam in front of thousands of people. I don't know." But it's a feeling that you give yourself. Of course, I was nervous inside, but I remained calm. My demeanor was calm. So why am I so calm? Well, I'm calm because I trust that everything I want is already mine. Everything that I desire is already here. It's already mine. So I don't need to be all scared about it, right? I'm calm. It's coming. So what else? Well, I carry myself with the assurance that I already have everything I need. So if everything I want is mine already, so is everything I need. Everything's already here. I'm calm. Let's see. I confidently attract what I seek. I know it's coming. That's why I'm so calm. I know that it's on its way to me. I don't question it. I know it. I approach every situation with clarity and peace of mind. I'm calm because I see things the way I'm supposed to see things. I see things with a clear mind. It's not cluttered. It's all clear. I guard my thoughts. I stand guard at the portal of my mind, right? Emerson says that. I love it. And it's in my self-image script. I stand and I hold my I hold my staff. I don't know exactly what I'm holding. I'm holding something and I'm standing guard at the portal of my mind. And if you have to act out your self-image script when you're saying it to yourself, do it. Let's see. I only allow those thoughts that align with my true self, right? Those are calming thoughts. I understand that my thoughts and feelings shape my reality. Well, if I want to be calm, then I better think calm thoughts. I understand that my thoughts and feelings shape my reality. I focus solely on truth and goodness, on love, on what I genuinely want. I know that my outer world mirrors my inner state. So, if I want my outer world to be calm, I must be within. And I embrace this truth every day. Calmness is easy, and I highly recommend reminding yourself that all these things, all these traits are easy for you. They're natural for you. It's just the way you are. It's who I am. I'm naturally calm, right? So as you go through each of these traits, why are you so calm? Why are you so confident? Why are you so abundant? And just write every last drop out of it that you can. Just squeeze it until there is no more in there, and just milk it for all it's worth, because you want to help yourself and remind yourself all the time about why you are these wonderful, awesome things, and why you should be, and why your ideal self is, and so you can be now too. One of the other things I mentioned, thoughts, feelings, and actions. One other thing that you can do, and you're getting it here first, is if you're having a particular challenging experience in your life where you kind of fall out of the version of you that is calm or is confident or is abundant or whatever, and it just keeps repeating itself in your life, what I suggest you do is preempt it. So craft that scene that recurs in your life, and then decide that the next time this shows up in my life, this is exactly how I'll act. This is exactly how I'll respond. So for instance, I'll use Lola as an example. If Lola ever, she doesn't anymore, but is snippy or whatever with me because she's 14, right? If that happens, this is how I will react. Respond. This is how I will respond. I will not react, right? I'm responding. We're training ourselves to respond in a situation. So if Lola says something and I go, I'll stop. I won't say anything. And I'll play in my mind. We have a loving, peaceful, respectful relationship. Thank you for our loving, peaceful, respectful relationship, right? And say the word thank you in there, because that implies that it's already done. And when I do that, things shift. When I shift, other people shift. All of a sudden, she shows up and she apologizes. I didn't ask her to. I didn't say you better apologize. I don't say anything. It all happens up here. So if you can imagine life with a teenager, for instance, if she escalates and then I escalate, she escalates and then I escalate, and yep, Sophie's going, yep, that's what happens. Yeah. And so neither one of us is calming the energy. But if you preempt that and craft a scene or a response for yourself to practice and to follow, if this, then I am this, then you'll set yourself up for success. It might not happen right away. You might trip once or twice, but practice it and remind yourself of it because it will help. I promise you. So, oh yeah, my outer state is a reflection of my inner state. So the more calm I am, the more calm this is, right? So does anybody have any questions about that? Okay. Preempt your physical world. I love it. All right. Next step is the last one. Embody your ideal self. So what we're doing is we're creating a script all together. So we have our scene full of our desires, right? Implying that all of our desires are achieved, are here, we're living them. We have our affirmations, we have our affirmation descriptions, our character description. So now we combine it all into one self-image script. So you can do it in a number of different ways. So what I do is I put my affirmations first, actually. Actually, I put my goal at the top, and then I put my affirmations and all of their descriptions. And then I put my scene. But if your scene brings all of that to life for you, then put your scene first. Put whatever makes sense to you first in this document. But the key is don't stick it in a drawer. The key is to create it, to write it. You could create a vision board around it. You could do all sorts of different things to bring it to life. You can make a painting if you're an artist. You could do all sorts of things. But it is so important to interact with it daily. Read and listen to it every day. Begin making decisions from this self-image. So, if you want to be abundant, don't walk around the grocery store telling yourself how expensive everything is, right? If you want to be abundant, say, thank you for the money to pay for these groceries or this gas or whatever. One thing that Neil Donald Walsh said in Conversations with God is act from the gut feeling. So many times we get this gut feeling, oh, I should do this. And then we go, no, backpedal and talk ourselves out of it. Just try it. Try acting from that first gut feeling, what you should do. Or just notice what that gut feeling is, and then notice how you talk yourself out of it. That's what I started with. I said, oh, there's my gut feeling. And then I attracted those thoughts like, no, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. This is why, this is why, this is why. So try noticing that, because that gut feeling is generally in alignment with your ideal self. And then those backpedals, the talking yourself out of it, is all the paradigms that make up who you are right now. And it reflects how you respond in any certain situation, well, react in any certain situation now, right? So begin making decisions from this new self-image. If I'm confident, how do I act right now? And that's part of preempting physical life, right? If you know that there's a reoccurring thing that happens, decide how you're going to act in that type of situation. Okay. And the other thing about this self-image script is that we are not stationary and we're not stagnant. So let it evolve with you. If you get a new desire, get it in there. Ooh, yay. I mean, mine is Mine is morphing all the time, and it's so much fun. Allow that for yourself. It gets better and better and better. Okay. Any questions about how to combine everything into your self-image script? Comments on how you do it? Is it different than what I say? No, it can be.
Well, it can be because different parts of my script, I actually visualize it by sitting at the piano and noodling.
Ah, that's good.
Like one of the things that I do and I repeat quite often is waiting for the sunrise because I love watching the sunrise. The sunset's great, but I don't know. There's something about getting my butt out of bed early and going down to the beach and sitting there waiting for the sun to rise.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in the right beach, because if you're on the West Coast, you're waiting for the sun to set. This would be here in Texas on the Gulf, facing east. That's where that's where it came to me. It was actually a day on the beach that, and every time I'm in a situation where I feel happy, melodies start coming to my mind, and I start thinking, okay, I'm gonna go home and put that on. I'm just gonna play with it and noodle with it, and I do that all the time. I've done that ever since I was a little kid. So that's kind of one of my. I guess I would say that would be one of my things that grounds me. We were talking about that in another call, Mary. Horses ground you, music grounds me. I'd like to say my dogs ground me, but sometimes they ignore me. They ignore me or they. Ugh. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, sky's the limit. I mean, there's really no limit. I love that you brought up, being artistic, painting and things like that. I mean, I know about the vision board and I do that, but every time we go through this again, over and over again, I'm becoming a self-image script junkie in a good way because it's repetition, repetition, repetition. It's reinforcing it, and it's also helping me um, unveil things from and reveal things that didn't even think about prior that are just like boom, I didn't think of that. Why haven't I thought of that? So thank you, Mary.
You're welcome. And the other thing too is to notice that music is a thread that has been with you since you were a kid, right? And like I was talking about horses, for me, that is a thread. Music is a thread for Ryan, and it brings about his creativity.
Yep, after winning McDonald's gift certificates in elementary school for an original composition on piano, I it's always been there. And I
That's
didn't even
cool.
I didn't even have lessons, and I just get up there. And the music teacher thought I was all that.
And a bag of chips. That's so cool. Well, and then the other thing too is one of the things that's so powerful is to record your self-image script in your own voice and listen to it every single day. The reason why are we repeating it all the time? Well, one, that is how we learn and assimilate. That is how we train our subconscious mind to do stuff. So, how do you write your name? Well, when I was in kindergarten, I used to write my name with my R backwards because I didn't know how to make an R. However, I practiced and now I can write legibly, right? We do that with all of the things: riding a bike, tying our shoes, doing a double back on floor. All of those things are a result of creating habits through repetition. So, what we're doing when we repeat it and read it and listen to it every single day is we are training our subconscious mind that this is who we are. And when we pair that with the emotion and feeling, then we get it into our subconscious mind more quickly. And when we pair that with our own voice, our subconscious mind hears us speaking it and assimilates it at a faster rate. So read it, listen to it, I read mine with a pen in my hand and I change words. And then not as soon as, but once the script has lots of red ink on it, then I retype it up and I reprint it out and I re-record it. And sometimes it only takes a shift of one word to make a huge difference in your self-image script. And to Ryan's point, there should be more people on this call. There should be people who have been here over and over and over again to do this so many times, forever and ever, because we're always evolving and we're always growing. So invite your friends, make sure that they come next time. Let's see. So keys to lasting transformation. Repetition. Commit to daily review. Commit to something. Spend some time with your self-image script every single day. Accountability. Share with a coach or a mastermind or an accountability partner or accountability coach, or within the Magnet 30 Facebook group, or within Born Rich Foundation's Facebook group, or within Mind First. Share with somebody else what you want. And if you don't feel like you can share with somebody in your current physical reality, then that's what our community is for. Not many of us have met each other face to face, but we do trust each other and support one another throughout these endeavors. And then surround yourself with people who reflect your new image. So make sure you're around people who are on a growth trajectory, who also are improving their self-image, who also want big goals for themselves, who also want to live their ideal life. So some of the common challenges and how to overcome these. Wandering thoughts. That's very, very common. So don't worry. It's common to have wandering thoughts. Begin just to bring your focus back to your scene, or back to decide maybe one of your affirmations that you're just going to live it to its fullest today. Focus on one affirmation today. Wisdom, I'm wise. How do I act wise all day? How am I wise all day? Right? Clarity. Sometimes if we feel like we're going in all sorts of directions, we need to refocus. We need to come back to the drawing board and start with making a list again. Come back to our goals. Is my goal what I really want, or is it something somebody else wants for me, or is it something I should want? Should is in quotation marks, right? So if you're not clear on your goal, neither is the universe. The universe can't give it back to you. It cannot be reflected in your physical world if it's not clear in your mind first. Mind first. Isn't that interesting? Mind first. So make it a point to get clear. And then if you're feeling resistance, guess what? It's generally your paradigm talking. Oh, I can't do that. So remember when I said go with the gut, and then notice how you start backpedaling. But, right? That's your old paradigm, your old programming talking back. What that means is you just need to keep going forward with the self-image script. Keep reiterating what you've created and start living it. And the more that you do that, the more that the old paradigm, the old programming will die away for lack of nourishment. So you're ready. You don't have to, get ready to get ready. You are ready. You're ready now. You've created a blueprint. Now you get to live it. That's it. You don't have to sit here and wait for your self-image script to happen. It will show up when you are that person. So start now. Start being these affirmations that you created. Start being the person in your scene. Just because you don't see with your eyes the scene yet doesn't mean you can't be the person who attracts the scene. You have to be before you can have. Be, do, have. You can't have, do, then be. You have to be first, then do the things that being means, and then you get to have the things that that version of you has. Okay? Mary Morrissey said something great. She said, before I make my to-do list, I make my to-be list. Who are you being today? Who are you being in this moment? If you shift who you are in enough moments, you become that version. It becomes habit. It becomes who you are. So let's do this short visualization again. I want you to close your eyes, with your hands over your heart again, and I want you to repeat to yourself, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful me. And then bring to mind your ideal scene, the one that you scripted earlier. And then feel yourself there. Feel yourself there now. Notice what you see, hear, smell, taste, and touch, and let it be real in your mind. Allow yourself to be that version of you. And come back. That was just a minute, and it feels so much longer, doesn't it? I wanted to be there forever. You know, it's funny. It's not funny, it's the way it is. The more that I spend in my self-image script, the more I create this scene, and you all probably have heard me talk about the barn and all the horses. And the last time, just a month ago, the last time that we did this self-image scripting workshop, I said, yeah, this isn't the place, this isn't the barn, but it looks kind of like it. And there's a white house, and then there's fruit trees that are along the driveway. Guess what? In my scene, I am at this barn now, and I have created the grass, and I have created the scene to match what it is. And so I see it now that this is the barn. This is the place. Isn't that cool? You'll get more and more clear as you go. And it's so much fun. It's so much fun. So keep going. All right. So why do most people not live their script? Well, the biggest thing is they return to their old paradigms. So let this be a warning for you. Your paradigm's going to show up and say, this isn't you. You're such a liar. What are you talking about? You're not this. You're not that. You're not abundant. Have you seen your bank account? You're going to get that pushback from your paradigm. So when that happens and they lack the daily support and structure, then they fall back into their old patterns and they don't live into this version of themselves that they truly, truly want to live. Or else they try to do it all by themselves. And yes, this is personal development. And yes, we need to grow on a personal level, but we need support. And that is what I'm here to say, that you don't have to do that by yourself. So I want to unveil Magnet 30 Path to Mastery. So I'm so excited about this. It's brand new. And this is a brainchild from when I was a gymnastics coach, and I had the gym. And of course, in gymnastics, you can't have a child come into a gymnastics facility and expect to be on the Olympic team right away, right? They have to move up through the levels. They have to learn how to do a cartwheel on the floor before they can do a cartwheel on a beam. They have to learn all these different techniques and different things. So I thought, you know what? There's a reason why we had the gym. There is a reason why I spent all this time teaching children how to do things step by step by step. And that is what we're doing in Magnet 30 now. I'm restructuring it completely to break it down into bite-sized pieces and to build, just like in the gym, build confidence and skill and strength at every stage. And this is going to be a game changer. So what you do need, and we all know this, is we need repetition, we need mentorship, we need community, and we need to take action. And that's what this is all designed to do. So I help you do that. So how? Born Rich Foundations, that is just open today. I'm super excited about that. And Magnet 30 members have access to this. So if you haven't taken a look at it in the member portal, be sure to do that. Born Rich Foundations is the first step. And what that does is that brings us into You Were Born Rich, you know, Bob's book, You Were Born Rich, that we study every week in the Facebook group. But it goes deeper into every single chapter and it dissects it and it helps people to begin really applying it, not just reading it for the call every week, right? Really go into it and you go at your own pace. Maybe it'll take you a month to go through the first chapter. It doesn't matter how long it takes you, as long as you're doing it and you're going through it at your own pace. So that is Born Rich Foundations. It's open now. It's $11 a month. That's it. It's $11 a month, but it's so much more than just the book You Were Born Rich. It's everything Bob taught me to teach in You Were Born Rich that we can't cover in the half hour that we have every week. So we threw it into Born Rich Foundations and check that out. $11 a month. And then the next step that you can take, and you can come in at this point into the intro class at any point, even if you don't do Born Rich Foundations, because it includes Born Rich Foundations. This is going to be available at the end of this week. So Mind First intro course is like the Mind First micro course, but it's even deeper than that. Ryan is your accountability coach, and he's hosting weekly calls, weekly live calls, right, Ryan, to help people at a deeper level in the Mind First intro course to help you get thinking and acting towards your goals. And it gives you one-on-one accountability. It gives you a group support plus Born Rich Foundations, and that's $22 a month. So Ryan, did you want to add anything about Mind First? I know you're going
excited. I'm just excited about the way we're structuring this because I think it's something that the community needs is to have a specific pathway and not just jump in at a specific point, but to have one that's more about where they're at currently. And I love that if you want them all and you don't want to pay $11 or $22, you just pay $30 to be a Magnet 30 member, right? And still have everything. And but Mind First has a lot of potential. And I'm so glad that Mary has revisited that and I'm putting myself out there, betting on myself that I can be really a good asset to that particular part of this curriculum because I really believe in it. I've seen so many breakthroughs and so many people, including myself, and it's good for me. So it's good for everyone. And I'm excited about the opportunity. And it's going to be on the same time that we're having our self-image scripting workshop, the weekly calls. So every first Monday, Mind First people can come here. And then the second, third, and fourth Mondays and the fifth Mondays, if there is one, sometimes there is, they'll be with me. But they'll always be with Mary on the first Monday. or they won't be here, but they will be here because I said so. You got to be here every week.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And there's always a replay. Always, always, always. So you'll never miss a beat if you have to miss a beat. So, and then after these intro courses, we move into this path to mastery. So there are 5 levels within Magnet 30, and aspiration is the beginning, and that's going to be ready at the end of August. And what that does is it takes you through purpose, vision, and goals to get crystal clarity on exactly what the heck you want out of life and what it is that you are working to achieve every single day. Because let's face it, we get up in the morning and sometimes we just go through our day and we react to whatever comes flying at us. And we need to begin in this aspiration level of saying there's more to life than just that. And so that's what level 1 is all about. And that'll be, like I said, open at the end of August. And then we'll move up to level 2, which is individual, and that moves into understanding the laws of the universe and understanding our intellectual faculties and really applying that. So aspiration is at $30 a month. Individual is at $45 a month. And so what individual is beginning to understand the great depths of what we have at our disposal. And then discipline moves into our How to Study, Think and Grow Rich, my book, as well as How to Study the Science of Getting Rich. Both of those, that doesn't exist yet, but it will. And that'll be the discipline, and that'll be available later this year. And then we move into experience, which is a coaching opportunity. So you move into a leadership role and you can use other Magnet 30 courses to build and serve your network and your community as a coach, as a leader. And then Mastery, of course, is our elite program, and that includes thinking into results and lead the field. And that is where we're really using it and dedicated to this growth. So that, in a nutshell, is the restructuring of Magnet 30 Path to Mastery. But this one, the foundation is Born Rich Foundations, and that's open now. Self-paced, based on You Were Born Rich. And I've put in companion videos and chapter summaries and journal prompts and a printable workbook. You get the live weekly mastermind calls plus the replays. And there's a community within that you can be a part of and interact with. And it's designed to help you think differently and live more abundantly, following Bob's principles that he talks about in You Were Born Rich, and get you ready for the full path to mastery. And then Ryan's here with Mind First Intro course that's coming available at the end of this week. I'm so excited. And so you can enter here too if you want, and it lays the foundation for all the future growth by teaching you how your mind works, how you think, how you feel, how you act, so you can stop living by default and start thinking on purpose. And this entry-level course bridges awareness into action, offering you both group and one-on-one support and accountability, and you can start living your dream. And the next stage is after that into aspiration here. And I want it to just finish off by saying that personal development is personal. So one of the reasons why this is so important for me to restructure Magnet 30 is because it is not one size fits all. And just like I coached gymnastics, I coached everybody differently. I don't remember who said it, but they said, treat them all the same by treating them all differently. And that is really important to me. So no matter who you are or what you're looking to achieve, you can find the help you need along this path. So I invite you to just book a call with me so we can talk about what your goals are and where you can best fit into this path. And even if the level that you ultimately want to be at isn't working yet, isn't up yet, that's okay. We can get you on the path to where it is that you want to end up, and then we can make sure that you're following the right strategies. So we can tailor your transformation so you can start creating lasting change, and you can take off one bite at a time. And it, just like what we're talking about in this self-image scripting workshop, it's not about learning, it's about becoming who it is that you want to become. So let's just bring your image to mind one more time and really think about, it's a year from now and you're living that life. What does a typical day feel like? Who are you with? What are you doing? What are you celebrating? Oh, celebrate. Let yourself feel the joy, the ease, and the certainty, and hold that image. That's you. That's your true self calling you forward. I love it. So book a call and we'll talk about your script. We'll talk about your goals. You'll talk about everything that you want and the support that you need to live your best life, and how Magnet 30 Path to Mastery fits into that and fits your needs. So there's no pressure. It doesn't cost anything to have a call with me. We can just talk. So yay, that is awesome. So I'm going to put in the chat the link for Born Rich Foundations. Like I said, if you're a Magnet 30 member, you don't need to sign up for that. You already have access to it. But if you are not a Magnet 30 member, then you're going to want to do that for $11 a month. Just saying. It's really has a lot of stuff in there. And I'm excited about it. I'm thrilled about it, actually. So does anybody have any questions that I can answer? Anything that kind of popped up as I was yammering on about the Path to Mastery, or about the self-image script that you're building for yourself? Any roadblocks that you've come up against? Anything that I can help you with? No? All right. Well, I'm also going to stick in the chat the link to book an appointment with me. So that way you can do that too. So this is available to anybody and everybody. You don't have to be a Magnet 30 member. I want to chat with everybody because this Path to Mastery, I really do believe, is inspired. I was given this idea for a reason, and it's to help you. So I'm so glad that you're here. Any other questions, comments, concerns? No? Ryan, do you have anything else that you want to say?
I'm working on my link to book a call with me.
Oh, do you want me to put it in there?
I don't have it yet.
I have it.
You have it.
Yep. And this
I don't
is
have my calendar updated, but hey, I'll be announcing it this week in mine first.
You can book a call with
The 5-day mini mindset reset. It's really not mine first. It just really
that reset.
Mary's course is it's a wonderful course, and this is just a wet your whistle, get you excited and entice you to want to join. Others to join. So this was great, Mary, and it's a privilege to be here in this little tiny group for you to be rolling this out again. And as I see you
rolling, baby.
roll with it, and roll with it, and roll with it. You add more to it, and it becomes more and more appealing. It provides lots more options for people, and especially for those of us that are sharing this with our friends and our audience and our colleagues and our acquaintances and our families. It gives everybody an option that is tailor fit for someone. It's not a one size fit all by any stretch. So this is great.
Yeah. Sophie, did you have a question?
Yeah, I was going to say it's just been good to be here because normally I'd be at work. So yeah, joys of being
I was
sick.
wondering. I was like, Sophie's usually at work. Why is she here? But I was excited.
Yeah. So yeah, I got sinus infection at the minute. So
Well, this
No
is
way.
the best place to start feeling better.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, thank you for spending your day with us. Appreciate
Yeah.
it. Thank you all for spending your day with me and Ryan and the rest of us. This is fun. I love doing these. It's every single month. They're free. You can invite people. Just keep working on your self-image script. That's why I offer them every single month. And I wasn't kidding when I said more people should be on this call, because this is an important part of personal growth and development. And I didn't take it seriously for a long time. And then I did. And then it works. And it's really amazing. So I want to encourage you all to keep going, keep going, keep going. It's gonna pay off. All right.
Question.
Yeah.
So when I went to my affiliate link for this scripting, it said that it was $11.11.
Oh, that's because you went to the affiliate link for the scripting call.
Okay, but that's so it's not free to everybody. It's
No, it is free to everybody. What you saw was the handbook. There's a handbook that's not free to everybody, only to the Magnet 30 members.
oh, I thought I just went to the scripting call.
Oh.
Anyway, okay, that's why I messaged you and asked if
Oh.
it was free. So
That's okay. Yep, it's free. But yes, you're right. There is a handbook that goes along with this, and that is 1111.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, everybody, thank you so much for being here, and have a wonderful rest of your day. And I hope you have a fantastic week, and I hope to be on a call with you soon. Bye.
Bye.